This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we review the 1996 comedy The Birdcage. Plus, the Daredevil TV series gets a new showrunner. The Marvels may have added a huge post-credit cameo. Five Nights at Freddie's breaks several box office records. Jonathan Majors' legal troubles get worse as Loki gives us a crazy fourth episode and more. All in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, October 30th, 2023.
Now listen here, bitches. You say you're looking for a podcast about comic books and TV and movies, but you don't know where to go? Well, stop whining and tune into the Jock and Nerd podcast. These are the only guys you'll ever need. They're jockey, they're nerdy, and they're bitches, like you. So keep it on the Jock and Nerd podcast. You can run, but you can't hide, bitch.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up! We talking, we nerding. We funny, disturbing. We talking, we nerding. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
Hey, yo, what's up, listener? How's it going? Thanks for pressing play, and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's a nerd.
And joining us, he looks fabulous in a wig. It's Rug Boy. How's it going, Rugs?
I never wear shoes.
I mean, everybody looks fabulous in a wig. The way my hair is leaving my head, I'm going to have to start wearing wigs very soon.
A wig on you? I like to see you shave your head bald.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd rather see you bald.
I don't know. Wig is an upgrade because then I can change it every day. I can try different styles.
Like you would wear like dreadlocks?
Sure.
Like Adam Duritz?
I would appropriate every culture I could and see what would happen. See if I could get by. I'll have my Milli Vanilli length dreadlocks. I'll have the
Your
Adam
payas.
Works. Yes, I'll have.
I think you really got to just go bald. You got to embrace it.
Be a big, bald, scary bald man? Okay.
I think you would actually look pretty decent bald.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, where do you have hair right now? Let's get into this.
Where normal people have hair. Just
like, do you have a horseshoe?
He's got
it's
like
thinning on top, and of course, there's like the big bald spot where it gets sunburned. Which
you just got to do Hulk Hogan. You got to get a do-rag.
Yeah, get a bandana. Yeah, do-rag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just walk around like you're Macho Man. Start like
Dude, that would actually be funny if you walked around.
Imagine Imran he just adapted that look. He became like the unmacho man. What's the opposite of macho?
That tank top we were looking at on the Discord, with the mesh tank top, and
Sulkamania.
He's gazpacho man. I don't know. I can't think of anything funny.
You know what? I will consider that.
I'll workshop it.
All right, I'll consider.
By the end of the show, I'll have you
gazpacho man.
Gazpacho man, that'd be good too.
Let me know, listener. You want to see me full shaved head bald, or should I start wearing wigs? I'll put out a poll. I don't know.
You're the penultimate warrior.
The penultimate warrior. That's second to the last warrior for everyone. Anyways, as my hair leaves us, the show has begun. Let's fucking get into it. We got a fun comedy movie to review, some geek news to discuss. Here we go.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
We should try hymns for men. I don't think that works.
You mean going to church and praying?
Yes.
You were Catholic.
Which one of these books is going to bring my hair back?
What I got to sing to grow some hair?
I'll read the fucking Torah, the Quran, the fucking old Bible, the new Bible, whatever it takes.
All right.
All to grow hair.
Yes,
Yeah.
all to grow, whatever it takes. God, please help me. All right, anyways, quick Hollywood strike update. Anthony, tell them the news.
They're not on strike.
No, they are still on strike. But
okay.
It looks like they're in the final stretches of this thing, SAG.
Why'd you write it's over?
I said
the writer's strike.
The writer's strike is over. The actor's strike might be over. Might be.
Well, you gotta be clear in what you're asking about.
Well, the situation isn't clear, so I understand your confusion.
Yeah.
They were negotiating all weekend, like on Sunday and shit. When they're supposed to be watching football, they were negotiating.
They didn't work it out yet. Oh, wow.
They from the reports I'm reading, it's in the final stretches, so it could be over this week. It's 108 days though. Right now, record of the thing. So, anyways, that's still going on. In the meantime, remember we talked about Daredevil The show
Yeah.
getting a whole creative reboot.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel has hired its first ever showrunner.
Oh, shit.
Wow. After 3 years of making TV shows, they finally hired a showrunner. This dude's name is Dario Scardapane. He is the first showrunner. He's going to take over the Daredevil Born Again series. He has worked on Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan for Amazon. It's a good show. And on The Punisher on Netflix. Marvel's Netflix, The Punisher. And he's going to be taking over, trying to salvage what they have, looking at everything. Also, Justin Benson, Aaron Moorhead, who are currently directing episodes of Loki, who did Moon Knight, were hired to direct the remaining episodes that they did not shoot. It says in this Hollywood Reporter article that Marvel will keep some scenes and episodes that have already been shot, but other serialized elements will be injected. Scardapane will write the new episodes and new scenes incorporating what was already shot. So some bandaging, some damage control. What do you think about this pairing of this guy from The Punisher and the directors of Loki?
Well, it's got some of that blood from the Netflix Marvel, so that might be a good thing.
Yeah, and the Daredevil Netflix show is great, and if you can get in some of that edgier stuff, darker tone.
Maybe he's got he has to have a handle on it a little bit, because he did work on something that was actually decent. I mean, both things. The Jack Ryan show is good too.
It is very good. It's good episodic television.
So hopefully it goes in that way. Jack Ryan, like, you watch an episode of that, you're watching the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to just, I saw an episode, I'm good. No, you're going to watch the whole thing. That's good TV. When you want, you have to watch the next episode.
Yeah.
And that's what Marvel does not have, unfortunately, because you get disinterested halfway through a lot of the time.
Because it feels like a giant movie just cut up randomly instead of like building to something, having a rhythm. Anthony, comment on these guys?
Well, I don't have any comment on these guys. I mean, sure, they've done some good stuff. It's good they have a showrunner. I would say that quick shout out to Loki. Hell of a ending for this past
my
episode.
God. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but holy shit. And they're doing a great job on that show. I think the ones they've directed. Also, Jonathan Majors was really good on that show. Speaking of, that leads right into our next thing. Unfortunately, Majors, while enjoying some praise for Loki, is we got some updates on his legal issues there. And they're not great. So we haven't heard anything for a while. Jonathan Majors' defense team was trying to get the assault case thrown out of court. They wanted the court, the charge to get dismissed, the whole suit to get dismissed. The judge in New York denied the motion to dismiss, meaning Jonathan Majors will go on trial in November, which is kind of crazy.
It's not good.
That's not good. On top of that, they were trying to prosecute his ex-girlfriend, the person who filed these charges. That also gets thrown out of court. They will not be going forward with them. The DA is not going to prosecute the other party.
Whoa.
So that's strike one. Strike two. Here's strike three. His trial is expected to start November 29th. He had a movie coming out later this year, just a few days after, early December. Magazine Dreams, coming from Disney and Starlight, where he plays a bodybuilder. This movie has been pulled off the release schedule. Which
it's not good.
That's not good either. That's three things right there. I mean, that last thing makes sense from the studio's point of view when they found out that this case is actually going to face trial. So where does that leave us? He's in Loki a lot, and I expect he's going to be in a lot of the final two episodes.
Yeah.
Did you hear that they might? You think they might like swap him out with another actor, like do a Loki, like do a female Kang?
I can see them pulling that.
I think anything's on the table if it doesn't go the way they want it to go.
So
yes,
we could be looking at Poon Kang.
Poon Kang.
Oh shit!
Lame. Not funny.
It wasn't bad.
I tried to set it.
It wasn't bad.
As is. It's a reach, but it's all right.
But I mean, we've seen him already as the face of all the kings. But now look, you see all this multiversal timeline shenanigans they're doing and all these things. They could easily just recast the guy. If
There's two things here. I think one, you see how it plays out, but then you're really stuck if like it doesn't play out the way they need it to.
yeah,
I mean, it has to play out. First off, hopefully whatever's really happened comes out in trial, right? Like that, if he actually did that shit, then he should go to jail or whatever punishment. But let's say for Disney's perspective, either you let it play out and you try to see if it's going to go their way, and you kind of salvage everything, or you just cut the cord right now and go, it doesn't matter how it plays out, we can't afford this, and we just got to recast.
I feel like they're in a wait and see strategy right now.
I think they're doing the first one, for sure. They're waiting it out,
because they got a lot riding on this. It could change those Avengers movies.
But the thing is, if you let it wait out and it doesn't go your way, you've basically wasted all this time when you could have just casted someone.
Man, that is a fucking
and pulled the Band-Aid
It's a
off.
pickle.
Yeah, that's a catch 22.
It's definitely
right
a pickle. It's a major problem. Get it? Yeah. I'm 2 for 2.
I mean, hopefully, like you said, the truth does come out, and justice happens, whatever actually happened, and if there's consequences, he should.
The only caveat the only silver lining is that he's playing a bad guy. I don't know.
Okay,
He's not the hero. So.
Right.
Yes. Right.
No, I see what he's saying. At least it's not.
It's not
Captain
like
America.
That would be even shittier.
But they just happened to hang the whole future of this MCU thing on him.
Oh yeah, I mean he was
It's the problem.
playing variations of him. It wasn't just a villain.
We've seen 3 fleshed out versions, and then hundreds of cameo versions already of this guy as different Kangs. Real briefly,
I'm not really on board with a lot of the versions that he's done.
You don't like
thus
Victor
far.
Timely? He's got a very strange delivery. He's quirky. I kind of like.
No, I found it to be annoying.
I mean, I thought he was doing a good job, and
He Who Remains was annoying too.
yeah, you didn't like that delivery either. Like that.
Did you like Kang?
They just don't come off as genuine. They come off like you're acting.
Caricature.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you like Kang? That's a good question.
I think that was the most realistic version of that character.
Is any
Believable version.
do we think that any of these other Victor Timely is this Kang? Well, we'll get into that later when we talk about it. It's crazy what they're doing there on that show. But he's a really good actor, and his career is on the line, unfortunately. So the other thing that I thought was interesting, we should mention in that same release announcement that his movie's been pulled off. The article says Disney also announced they are pushing back their live action contentious Disney's Snow White, a whole year with Rachel Zegler. It was supposed to come out March 2024. It is not coming out March 2025. And they've given us a first image, a first look at what they're going to do. And what am I looking at here? I'm looking at Rachel Zegler looking like Snow White. And these, are they dwarves? Are they?
They're CG magical short people.
Is this is all going to be CG? It's not people in a suit. They are short people.
I don't know. I think there's damage control going on here. Why do you need an extra eel?
There's too much. The only way they could do this is with CGI. I don't think you can. You'd have to reshoot everything with real little people.
Yeah,
it's just that I don't think they can redo the entire movie like that.
This image probably makes Peter Dinklage very angry. I'll tell you that right now.
Why is Alfred E. Newman up there?
It looks like him, doesn't he? One of them looks like Alfred E. Newman. Who, me? What, me worry?
No, Peter Dinklage wasn't Peter Dinklage against them having dwarves in the movie?
Oh, was he? I thought he was. Oh, okay.
He was.
He doesn't want he doesn't want short people or little people to play dwarves because he feels like that's insulting.
Oh,
he came out against it, and then I don't know what the community is called. Let's just say the little people community.
Yeah,
was like, he doesn't speak for us.
Oh, geez.
We want him to be in this movie.
Well, yeah. If you want to get tall people to play basketball players, is that insulting? I don't know. I just feel like if it fits the role,
right?
What's wrong with it? I don't understand what's really bad. It's like, okay,
but
especially if they're the heroes of the story. If they're like
Right.
not negative characters or being played as a joke. You know what I mean?
Dinklage, though, set a good example of getting like roles that could have went to average height people, right? And he just gets them and plays them straight, and he does a good job. Proving his side.
Well, yeah, but that there's a lot of diversity in roles you can play, right?
Yeah.
You can play against type, you can play with type, you could play mythological creatures, you could do anything, right? So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what the real bad is overall. It's all about the portrayal of what you're playing, I think. Like if you're the butt of the joke, then obviously you don't want to do that. But if you're part of a movie and you're in a magical land and you're a magical whatever, then what's the big deal? I don't understand. So
these CG dwarves are a little creepy, though.
Yeah,
I don't know how this is going to play out.
They're a little creepy.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the better call though than what they were doing.
Which one's dopey? I love that they have like the Amish / like Muslim beards.
They were doing a weird, diverse, not little people cast of dwarves, which just.
I mean, you got in Wonka. Again, we're going to see Hugh Grant shrunken down as a Oompa Loompa. Like, is that more offensive? I don't know. It's all very confusing these days. He looks hilarious in that, though.
Right. I don't know.
You don't know what to be offended about anymore.
I want to be everything is problematic.
I want everything to be offensive. Let's just look. We all lived through the 90s and we're fine.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Oh, and here's the other thing this thing mentioned. We already talked about how Mission Impossible it moved, but the last movie was called Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Apparently, they're going to change the title of Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning and drop the Part 2 and put something else in there. How does this make sense? Won't this be confusing?
Even deader reckoning.
Will they? Can you have a Part 1?
Dead-ass reckoning.
Dead-ass reckoning. You've been wrecking. And then can you have a Part 1 of a movie and the next one's not called Part 2? Like, what are you doing? That's going to be strange. I can't wait to see what they call it.
I don't know. You're asking questions I don't know the answer.
I don't know. I don't know why they're changing it. Well, look, what about this? You
should be one of the dwarves in Snow White.
One of them looks like me.
You're short enough to be a dwarf.
I did do it in high school. We did. I was in Snow White. I was one of the dwarves. Do you want to guess who I was? I always get typecast as like
Doc.
Dopey.
He's right. No, I was Doc. Rugboy is absolutely right. And we had to walk around on our knees with like shoes strapped to our kneecaps to appear small. It was fun. I was Doc. So I have been in.
Did you like that I guessed it on the first try?
You're absolutely right. Yes.
You were Doc?
I was Doc. Because I was typecast. I was always like the priest or the preacher or like that role that's loud. I don't know why.
Or the naked guy.
If we're talking about student films. I was always cast as the naked dude. I was voted most likely to streak in high school. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
The thing about Snow White is, first off, no one likes the remakes. Like everyone sees them for what they are.
Yeah.
They're just money grabs, right?
Yeah.
But they want to modernize them, but the 90s ones are like a little easier to modernize. This one's from 1938.
Yeah.
So like I think they just went so far in modernizing it that it pissed people off. And it was already not, people already didn't want to see it, right? Like,
yeah.
People were like, stop making these.
Yeah, like Disney's kind of lame because they want to make movies, but they keep doing these movies and that they want to do things that are diverse and they appeal to large markets. And they're then dipping into these old movies that are all based on like German and, so why go to that well when there's a whole bunch of stories that are untold from various
cultures.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, why try and force something something that's square into a round hole? It just doesn't make sense.
They can keep doing new things like, you have your Coco and Moana and all these, and you can do tons more, and they're great.
No one was protesting when Coco came out. They were like, everybody was for it. And Encanto and all those other fucking things that they made. There's no argument against those. Like, no one's like, oh, we don't want those. people want more of that. So, like, why take Snow White and try and make it something that it's not? I don't know. But
you know what's wild?
That's Disney.
Disney is celebrating its 100th birthday this year. It started in 1923. It's fucking wild. Floyd Norman, who was on our show.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
He worked on Snow White. He's been working at Disney for like 67 years, almost all the 100 years.
Snow White? My God.
Yes, that was like his first job. He was the in-betweener. He's the first black
Is he
animator
dead?
they hired. No, he's still alive.
Oh,
Yeah.
shout out to Floyd.
Yeah. Floyd Norman's amazing. Go back. You can find that show. Our buddy Eric Sharkey did that documentary on him, and we got an interview.
I bet that's the first and only time he's ever been interviewed by a puppet.
I probably.
Yeah, we thought about, like, should I be on that one?
Should you be a puppet? I was like, yes, you should. Floyd, you ever been interviewed by a puppet before? Come on, in your long storied career, this is a first. We can provide that here at the Jock and Nerd podcast. Another Disney thing we can talk about: the Marvels coming out November 10th.
Oh.
We talked about how they had a low opening and then they projected a little bit higher, 70, 80, but now
they're projecting more.
Now it's back down to 45 to 50. Apparently, this thing.
Weird. How's that work?
I don't know, but there's articles out there saying, and everybody's talking about how even if this movie is good, Marvel should prepare themselves for a flop, for a box office bomb here. Even if it's good, it's just bad timing. It's not going to help the movie. Apparently, they're so desperate. There is rumor that a major, quote, game-changing cameo has been added, maybe as a post-credit scene. Rumors of, like, characters appearing. I don't know what's going on. They're reshooting things. They're getting desperate. There's all these clips and spots coming out. I've stopped watching them because I don't want to see anything else until it comes out. But do you guys feel any desperation from Marvel?
Yes.
To get this movie doing something? I don't think anything's going to help. You can't promote it with actors.
It's just a reach because we all have said this 1,000 times. It's a bunch of characters that no one's really clamoring for. You don't know who the bad guy is. There's nothing like that ties it to the comic books that's of any note.
Yeah.
So you have like all these things working against you, and you're trying to get like something like big numbers, which you're not going to get when you have all these things working against you. If they would have made a smaller budget movie, this wouldn't be an issue. Like, they're going to make a decent return for like a normal budgeted movie,
Right.
but they spent a lot of money on
Yeah,
this.
this is probably another $200 million. Those couple of the spoiler tweeters on internet, can we get some toast account, says it's true, everything's starting to connect, and he posts a photo of the Marvels, a photo of the Deadpool 3 logo, and an image of Avengers Secret Wars. And then Daniel Rickman has a cryptic clue about who this cameo may be. Let's see if we can figure it out. He said, someone who was the perfect casting for a certain role and never got his chance to do justice with it because they wasted him on a shitty movie is coming back. That's all I'm going to say. That could be a lot of people.
Shitty movie.
Shitty movie.
Shitty movie, perfect casting for the role.
Andrew Garfield?
No, that's not it.
At this point, whoever they added in this movie, I don't think is going to move the fucking needle. But who could this
Shitty
be?
movie, perfect for the role.
Yeah, you want to know who I heard people saying? I don't know if this is spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
And again, it's who cares? Kelsey Grammer as Beast is what people kept saying.
Oh, that didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
That's going to be game changing?
Yeah, I don't know how that's game changing because it's a Fox
Well, it's because
character.
of the X-Men, yeah, the Fox.
But we saw them in the fucking Doctor Strange movie. It's a different universe. Maybe that's this universe. But really, is that
I
going
do
to...
like Kelsey Grammer as Beast.
He was a great Beast, right? The new Frasier reboot, like Frasier's back on. I haven't watched it. I don't know. I heard it's getting mixed reviews. But
I gotta admit, I'm pretty tired of talking about Marvel's box office.
yeah, right? Another clue.
Just let's see it play out. It's probably gonna be shit. We don't know why.
Let's see it when it comes out.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm tired of talking about it. Another clue that they may not, either they're trying to avoid spoilers or they may not have the most faith in it, is the review embargo lifts Tuesday, November 7th. The movie comes out 2 days later. So
that's not good.
that's not good either.
Usually Marvel will release their review
3 days.
embargo like a week or two
Yeah,
out.
yeah, not 3 days.
Yeah.
So
That's not good.
lower your expectations, everybody. There's some other rumors that people have been talking about. I'm going to throw these out there, get some quick comments from you guys. Spider-Man 4 apparently is eyeing a production start of late next year, 2024, with Tom Holland, Zendaya, John Watts returning, and the writers from No Way Home returning.
I'm making a jerking off motion right now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No official word. There's no official word from Marvel. And, you know, we talked about how I don't know if he's re-upped his deal, but he's finally at the point where I wanted him, where he's on his own. He's got a cloth suit. Nobody knows who the fuck he is. He can't pay his rent. Great. Dying to see what happens. But with this strike, it's still happening. I don't know if they're going to be able to start that soon. So it's whatever.
It's a mess.
Spider-Man 4, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a cash cow. It's a cash cow for them.
Yeah, they're going to milk that.
Okay, the other one, a little more interesting. Apparently Thor 5 in development, but they do not want the Taika Waititi.
Good.
Yeah,
no more Taika.
I agree. I think that's a good move. I think he can move on.
He had one movie too much. They let him. The part 3, most people liked. They had him reined in. Then they gave him more leeway in 4, and he pissed a lot of people
He went
off.
a little overboard, and
They need to just get the guy from Extraction.
Sam Hargrave.
Yeah, but it just direct like a Norse like fucking battle.
That's my question. Who would you want to direct? What tone? They did like the serious Shakespearean Thor. They've done the fucking Three Stooges comedy Thor.
You need the Berserker Thor.
Where do we go now? I would like to see a darker, more violent Thor.
You do that. You do the Berserker, man. That's what you do.
Berserker Thor, that'd be cool.
Other people said Robert Eggers.
When do you bring in Beta Ray Bill?
Yeah, you got Beta Ray Bill waiting. They mentioned Balder the Brave on Loki. I don't know. He could come in. You got Frog Thor.
Yeah.
Beta Ray Bill.
There's still potential. There's always stories with There's always stories with all these characters, to be honest, if you would go to the comics. But you just need to lean back from how absurd it got in what was the last one called? Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
That did not click with a lot
Even
of people.
Hemsworth was like, yeah, we got too silly on that one. But let's not forget they left us. He said, we have Daddy Thor. He's got a daughter.
Yeah, Thor and Love and Thunder.
Yeah. Oh, Love and Thunder.
Yeah, that's her name,
But,
Love.
But you got to deal with that. Maybe you just age her up and she's a teenager. I don't know. It's Hemsworth still into it. He's kind of the only remaining OG from the original there. So, I don't know.
You said Hemsworth the only OG?
Yeah. Right?
Trying to think.
Well, you got Cumberbatch and Chris Hemsworth.
From the original? He wasn't in the first
Oh,
one.
no, he wasn't. That's right.
No. Yeah, what's her name was in this last one? Though Sif. She's from the original.
Yeah, where's Lady
Her
Sif?
arm was cut off.
That's right. That was hilarious. Jamie Alexander, bring her back. All those other dudes got killed. But I think Waititi can go on. He's made some Oscar-nominated movies. He's got a movie coming out about soccer or something. He's fine. He'll be fine.
Let him do his thing.
Yeah.
I think the Waititi thing was fun for a movie, and then it got too strange.
So Sam Hargrave or Robert Eggers Ruggs, who did Northman. Someone else mentioned that. I was like, oh my god, can you imagine if?
Yeah, imagine he did
a fucking Northman. That movie's dope.
Yeah,
it's a very good Viking movie. Give me some Viking shit. Yeah, let's get into the Viking shit.
Yeah, more Viking shit.
Wait, I got one more rumor I didn't put in here. This just posted. It's about Deadpool 3. Do we want to hear it? Yes or no?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Who said this? One of these tweeters. My Time to Shine. Hello. Has said Deadpool 3 is about the TVA picking up the prime versions of each hero to create a multiversal army to fight the Kangs. And they picked Hugh Jackman's Wolverine to recruit, but he's not fully on board. That is what the movie is about. Oh, shit. We just spoil the whole movie if this is true. That's not a bad idea.
I mean, he can't die. Neither can Deadpool.
The pool.
They grow back, but they can't die. They're unkillable.
So it's about them going across the multiverse to create an army. Is that what you said?
Yeah. A multiversal army, which that could lead right into your Secret Wars there. And with what's happening in Loki, that kind of makes sense how it's heading. Interesting.
doesn't tickle me.
Interesting. So it says in here, it's also been confirmed. Jennifer Garner, Elektra, we talked about that. Liev Schreiber, James Marsden, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, and Taylor Swift expected to appear. The Taylor Swift thing is like she's not playing Dazzler. She might be playing herself. Yeah, that'd be. I guess that would be fun. I don't know how you get Taylor Swift in there, but why not? Throw him in there.
Do it.
I want the strike to be over so they can finish shooting this so we can see this. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Hugh Jackman. All right.
In the yellow suit.
And all the multiversal shenanigans that they're promising. Anyways, that's a big scoop. We'll see if that pans out. Let's finish with a little box office update. Last week, Ruggs told us all about Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is Ruggs' movie of the year.
Yeah, movie of the year. Well, here's how the numbers broke out. This movie was made for $20 million. On Rotten Tomatoes, critics giving it 29%. 89% audience rating. It opened to this weekend $80 million.
Oh, shit.
It's sitting at $132 million worldwide, shattering a bunch of records for Blumhouse, for PG-13 horror. Kind of crazy. It is the highest grossing opening weekend for Blumhouse, surpassing Halloween 2018. Biggest opening weekend of the year for a horror film, overtaking Scream 6 earlier this year. Second largest debut for a video game adaptation behind the Super Mario Brothers movie. Tied for biggest opening for a day and date streaming release with Black Widow. Oh, remember that also made $80 million.
Yeah.
At the same time, the biggest opening ever for Universal and Peacock's hybrid releases. All these other fucking records, it's breaking.
Well, if you listen to what I said last week, I said this movie is popular on the Zoomers. They grew up watching people stream. Like, no one plays this game.
They just watch.
They watch other people play the game.
They watch
because there's jump scares, and they like to watch people react to the jump scares. Like, I don't know a fucking single person that ever played this game.
Everybody just watches like a dozen people play.
They just watch people stream it. But I said this movie's gonna be dog shit. But since it's part of Zoomer, like their life growing up and their childhood, they're gonna all go see it now. And I was right. I knew that was gonna be a big opening.
It was on Peacock, and I was like, let me check this out. You watched it too, Ruggs?
Yes.
I will just say this movie was not for me. It was kind of boring. It took a fucking hour of setup for anything to happen, and then even when stuff happens, I was just like, okay. It's not that good.
It had a potential, and it blew it really bad.
You blew it. I mean, the animatronic things look fine, and like the backstory of him and his brother and missing kids and whatever. I like Josh Hutcherson because he was in Future Man on Hulu, which is an amazing.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He was great.
He was kind of a good frazzled dude that was at the end of his rope. But the movie's not great. And
who is it for? Like, I feel like kids that age aren't even gonna like it. Like 12, 13-year-olds. I don't know.
I feel like if you're making it for kids, you can't have this much talking in it.
I think the PG-13 hurt it a little bit because it's like not scary.
And if you're making it for like teenagers, you got to make it more bloody. Make it more sexy.
Is the game like? Is there a rating on the game? Is that like a?
I don't know.
Is it for older teenagers?
I mean, little kids watch it on. So like kids are watching these streams. So like young kids, like I'm talking about like teenage, tweenage.
Yeah.
Kids are watching.
I mean, you're right. I asked some of the 20-year-olds at work. I was like, "Oh, you need Five Nights at Freddy's? You ever played it? Seen it?" Everyone's like, "I've never played it, but I watch videos about it." I was like, "Okay."
I don't bullshit.
Yeah,
I know.
You're right. But fucking huge opening for this thing, considering you could just watch it on streaming. Surprising everybody went out to see this.
Yeah, they're going to make a sequel to us, obviously. Hopefully it's better. Yeah, I told you, this movie's going to be shitty, but people are going to go watch it.
Anthony, any interest in this at all?
No.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good. I watched so many things this week, and I was like, I'm going to fucking shove this in, too. Just to see what the kids are talking about.
You just lubed your butthole up and just
shove it
right
in.
There.
It wasn't good. It was not good. It's not good. It's not good.
You You felt like you wasted your time.
A little bit, and I was just bored. Sorry. But good for the movie. Whatever. I don't know what you can do. All right, look, let's take a quick break here. Play some advertisements. Come back and talk about a classic 90s comedy right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey there, everyone. Brian here, host of TV Trivia Pod. It's a trivia-style podcast focusing on TV and movies. Listen in for questions like, what's the name of Michael Scott's screenplay? What do you say to view the Marauders map? And what's everyone eating in the post-credit scene of Avengers? Play along to TV Trivia Pod anywhere you get podcasts. And stay tuned for more trivia.
I'm Imran.
And I'm Sophia.
I'm the brother.
And I'm the sister. And we are watching a show about cousins.
We're your hosts for Dance of Joy, a Perfect Strangers rewatch podcast.
We grew up watching the 80s hit sitcom, and now we'd like you to join us every week as we rediscover our love for our favorite TV cousins, Balky and Larry.
You can find our show at danceofjoypod.com and on all major podcast platforms. Now we are so happy, Sophia. We do the Dance of Joy.
Imran, this is a podcast. They can't see us.
Oh, po.
And nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy the show, it is a great time to join our Patreon fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Jock and Nerd. You can give back. You can support the show. It helps us keep the show coming out every week. And there's stuff you get, like access to a exclusive podcast feed where the shows come out early. Bonus content is posted. You can hang out with us on our monthly Discord. This month, it will be Thursday, November 16th. And the date is always there on our Discord page. You can pick any movie you want for us to review. There's a tier where you get a special t-shirt. Lots of fun things at jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Check it out. All right. Let's get to this week's movie review. We've been doing a roundtable host choice comedy genre kind of series. I started with Swingers. Ruggs followed up with Monster Squad last week. This week, it's the Jock's pick Anthony has chosen for us. 1996, The Birdcage. Here are your spoilers.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
The Birdcage, if you don't know, it's a remake of a French movie that's based on a musical called La Cage Falls. I've never seen this musical. I like musicals. I don't know any of the music from La Cage Falls. On Rotten Tomatoes, this movie's sitting at 83% critic rating, 6.9 out of 10, 81% audience rating. The movie was made for $31 million and does really well in 1996, finishing worldwide $185 million. That's quite a great return. Anthony, I put this link in there. I like what we did it last time. Give us the top 10 box office 1996 for context.
Yeah, for context, top 10. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Number 1, Independence Day.
Oh, that's a big one.
That was a big movie.
Yeah.
2,
Huge.
Twister.
Oh, yes.
3, Mission Impossible.
Oh, shit. The first Mission Impossible.
4, The Rock. 5, The Nutty Professor.
Okay.
6, Ransom. I don't know what that movie is. That's a
That-
Walt
Oh,
Disney
that's like, give me back my son.
Oh, yeah. Mel Gibson, Give Me Back My Son. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
7, The Birdcage.
Oh, The Birdcage actually makes it on the list.
8, A Time to Kill.
James Bond? James Bond.
No, is that, I don't think
Is that
no,
James
that's-
Bond?
No, it's
no,
not.
that's
It's
Samuel
like about
Jackson and yeah,
it's about racism.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Sam Jackson and one of the Judds.
Sandra
In
Bullock,
Mississippi
and,
or something.
Oh, Sandra Bullock.
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, man. I forgot about that one. Okay.
9, 101 Dalmatians,
Oh,
and 10, The First Wives Club.
all right.
My favorite film.
Not a bad top 10, I guess, but a great, another.
Eclectic top 10.
Yeah, eclectic. Another big year for movies. Broken Arrow also coming out that year. Jerry Maguire, stuff like that.
Space Jam, Jerry Maguire, Cable Guy,
12 Monkeys,
12
on here.
Monkeys.
Oh, that's a great movie. So this is where we
Jingle
are.
All the Way, one of the best
Oh.
Schwarzenegger movies ever.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Jumanji. Toy Story came out
This
the year.
is what was big when the Birdcage came out. Birdcage, directed by Mike Nichols, who has given us such things like The Graduate, and adapted by Elaine May. Now, Nichols and May were a very influential improv duo in the 50s. Mike Nichols, Elaine May did a lot of TV, radio. And this is actually the first movie. Then they got famous, like, independently working on things, him directing, her writing. This is the first movie they actually get to work together on in their whole career. But Nichols and May are like comedy legends. The movie starring, of course, the great Robin Williams as Armand Goldman. You got Nathan Lane as Albert Goldman. Gene Hackman as Senator Keeley. Diane Wiest as the wife, Louise Keeley. Dan Futterman as the son, Val. Young Callista Flockhart as Barbara. Hank Azaria as Agador. Christine Baranski as Catherine. Agador Spartacus. That's your main cast there. There's original music in here by Stephen Sondheim, which is kind of a big deal. R-rated, 117 minutes. Anthony, first tell us what happens in the Birdcage, and then I want you to tell us why you picked the Birdcage.
Oh, the Birdcage is about this gay male couple that live in Miami that have a son that went to college, and he falls in love with a girl. And the girl just happens to be the daughter of a very conservative right-wing senator played by Gene Hackman. And in a twist of events, the parents have to meet. And basically, Robin Williams, as the gay father, has to pull off a dinner where he plays a straight guy because they are dealing with very conservative in-laws.
The old, can you play it straight for one night to please my girlfriend's parents trope. It's not trope. I don't know.
Yeah. Why did I pick the movie?
Yeah.
A couple of reasons. First, number one, I saw this movie as a kid. I think I had the old black box, and it came out on the black box, and I remember hearing my parents watching this movie and laughing hysterically, and then I watched it, and even as a
how old
9-year-old or 8-year-old,
okay,
I still thought it was funny as hell.
Wow.
I think a lot of Robin Williams' comedy is there's definitely like some stuff didn't fully get, but he has a lot of good physical comedy with his facials and the way he acts.
Oh yeah,
people falling around and shit. And Nathan Lane's, like very over the top in this. So there's a lot of stuff. Even as a kid, I could recognize the performances that. So it always stuck with me as a kid. Also, not a lot of people bring up The Birdcage as like Robin Williams is one of the first movies you think of for a Robin Williams movie.
Right.
Especially a comedy. I don't know that anyone brings up The Birdcage first, but I feel like The Birdcage is one of his best.
I mean, it's interesting because he's actually not playing like the flamboyant over the top.
He's the straight guy compared to the straight character compared to Nathan Lane.
No pun intended. He's the straight guy. Yes, up against Nathan Lane's wackiness. But the performance he puts in with that restraint is so nuanced and layered and amazing. So this movie stuck with you since you were 9.
As a little boy.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. It's always like it's that movie you weren't supposed to be watching and you watched and you loved growing up.
My parents didn't care. They thought it was
care.
funny. Yeah.
I mean, there's really nothing. There's like aside from like curse words, there's really nothing bad. That bad for a kid to see, I guess.
It's mature, but yeah, nothing too bad.
I mean, in fact, it exposes you to lots of things, right? Like the drag culture and nightlife, and I think it's one of the things the movie does really well and kind of ahead of its time. Rex, what is your relationship with this movie?
See, in 1996, I did not see this movie when it came. I feel like I lived it. No, I'm kidding. I actually was living with a gay dude at the time.
That's true. Your college roommate.
This is true.
Yes.
This is true. And I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I just had to throw it in there. But I didn't see it when it came out. I think I caught it on TV, and I think it was heavily edited, so I didn't get the full experience. So I got to see it in its full entirety, and I thought it was really funny. I laughed a lot. It was very funny. I'm surprised more people don't talk about it because it is very hilarious. But I'm not surprised Mike Nichols, Robin Williams, you got Nathan, all like heavy hitters, Hank Azaria.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're all in this movie, like killing it. Gene Hackman, of course, like he doesn't ever do bad in a movie. He's always great. So like, yeah, this is like an A-list feature. It's basically a play done on film.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it does have some great, like one of the things that's just an unspoken thing was like, when you're in Miami, like, and I've been to South Beach, Miami, a couple times, and they're just sitting in the car and like just people on roller skates with their like dicks hanging out, like just going by, like that happens,
and things and ass cheeks hanging out, just buzzing by, rolling by.
A long way from West Palm Beach.
So I found a lot of that South Beach humor and just the visuals of South Beach. It tickled me because I've been there and I've seen it, and I'm like, oh, they kind of really stuck to the reality of that. It was very enjoyable. It's improbable in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, it's completely probable. Like it's one of those things where it's a lot like the TV shows that I grew up with, where everything's like a huge misunderstanding. And it's improbable, and like they could have just like avoided this altogether.
Just talked, but that is where a lot of the comedy comes from. It has a very sitcom-y type of setup, and it's so funny. I've seen this movie a couple of times over the years, and I think I watched it like when it came out on video, just because I'm a huge fucking Robin Williams fan, and I heard it was really great. And it's an amazing character-driven comedy. It is based on the strength of this cast alone. Is why this thing works, and Nichols does a great job directing it, and it's like ahead of its time. And a lot of people cite it for humanizing, a gay couple as leads in a movie instead of like side characters, and the whole drag culture. I think a lot of people, this is the first introduction.
Wasn't the whole scene around the same time too?
I think that was also in the 90s.
The Crying Game.
There was that. There was a lot of that happening. And I mean, cut to today when we're like RuPaul's Drag Race is Emmy winning. It's like one of the biggest fucking reality shows on TV.
Right.
Too Long Fu, thanks for everything. Julie Newmar came out a year before.
Yeah.
1995. But
it wasn't a comedy. It wasn't as accessible.
Well, and the fact
Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes.
Yes, Wesley Snipes and Patrick Swayze. But this became, with that box office, so huge and mainstream that it was great. I love the Miami-ness, that long shot in the beginning where it just pushes in over the water into the nightclub.
What was the name of the club in New York that everybody used to go to? Lucky Chan's? That was the New York Birdcage.
That was the New York Birdcage. I know, actually. So when I used to deliver balloons, when I worked at the balloon place here, we would set up parties at this place called the Baton. And apparently it's like one of the premier female impersonator clubs in the country, in the Midwest. And one time I went there to set up balloons, and I was just stunned. I was like, there's no way that's a man in drag, because they were just like these stunning women. It was quite, and it's like an art, right? And I started to appreciate it as the art that it is.
Yeah, Lucky Chang's.
Lucky Chang's? Every city has
P.F. Chang's.
Every city has one. Every big city has one. But what some of your favorite lines in this movie, Anthony? Favorite moments?
Oh man, I mean, there's so many. The movie builds to the dinner scene, which is just an amazing third
dinner
act
scene,
of comedy.
It's great.
There's so many lines, but I think my standout is not a line. It's when they're sitting there, waiting for the wife to come, and then Nathan Lane walks in drag as his wife, and the look on Robin Williams' face, and it's like, and it stays on his face for so long, where he's like shocked, and then she's saying things. Nathan Lane is saying things that like go against what they were saying, so then he's like horrified, and then he could see that they're buying into her, and like Gene Hackman's liking her, and then he starts to like have a wry smile. It's just there's no line said there, but his facial acting is so good there that I just die that entire 20 seconds that it's stuck on his face as Nathan Lane is saying lines. It just I always crack up then.
I love that the senator is just enamored with Albert.
He loves her.
And she's saying all the he's feeding into it, saying all the right things.
Poor Mrs. Coleman.
The D is silent. Oh, the whole Goldman thing. The bowls with the fucking Greek drawings at the bottom is hilarious.
Just anything with Hank Azaria was hilarious. Like he was fucking hilarious.
Hank Azaria with he's like
wearing a thong.
He's dancing around
and singing.
I'm quoting here, but they go at one point he's wearing a uniform.
Yeah.
And then the guy goes, he goes, I'm gonna look like a fag. And then Robin Williams goes, a fag in a uniform. And then Hank Azaria under his breath goes, don't ask, don't tell.
Well, and that's the thing is like that don't ask, don't tell policy was put in place like 2 years earlier. This is all coming out in this era. And it's just, it's so unapologetic and fantastic. There's when the whole shrimp scene where he's like, fuck the shrimp.
That always cracks me up when he goes, fuck the shrimp.
And then he slips and falls. And do you know that he didn't mean to fall? That was completely unintentional. And they just went with it. You could see them kind of laughing when he pops up again.
I love the way Robin Williams just goes, just the way he says shut up. He goes, just shut up. Just shut up.
I like the whole line about Alexander the Great being talking about gays in the military. Alexander the Great probably was gay, and he was like the greatest military leader of all time.
I like the line where it's getting real weird, and he's like more ice, and then he drops the ice bucket and goes, how about those dolphins? Eh?
Well, that whole scene where he's trying to teach him how to be straight, how to walk is so hilarious. The John Wayne walk, and he's like, you know what? I never noticed that John Wayne actually walks like that. And he's like, hey, Bill.
Robin Williams sweated a lot.
He was so sweaty this whole time. But his performance is still so funny, even though he's like the restrained guy. And it's so heartfelt.
Smear.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of reviews in the recent years saying that how much of an asshole Val was to force his parents to go back in the closet just to please his girlfriend.
Oh, for sure.
Right? It's like you feel so bad for them. And then he does relent and go along with it. And then the whole farce of Albert's there. Then the mom actually shows up and they got to explain everything.
It's totally situational comedy.
Yeah,
it's just done with great actors all around.
Yes. Great timing. It is just like a sitcom. Oh, yeah. When they're looking at the bowl, she's like, what an interesting china. It looks like young men playing leapfrog. They're like, what is that?
Oh, I have girls.
Let me get my glasses.
Oh, yeah. Nobody can find their glasses.
That's a boy. Oh my God! The whole dinner scene, right when the dinner starts, it's just so good. Agador Spartacus, him like bowing every time he walks
and
in.
The shoes, he can't walk in the shoes.
The food that he brings out with the egg in it, and they try it, and everybody grabs the bread immediately.
That's called a huevo.
Naked Greek boys, don't you? Oh, there's some girls in there. Don't you have any girls on your?
What do you think about how they resolve it? Basically,
it's brilliant.
He's got to get out, and he's the only way he got us to dress as a drag.
That's a great escape. Yeah,
I love when she gets there, and then they're like the real wife and the mother of Val, and then they start to reveal everything, and Gene Hackman just keeps going, "What?" He's like, "I don't understand," and then the wife's trying to explain to him she's a man. And he's like, I don't understand.
I don't know. He's more caught up in that he's Jewish. He's like, you can't be Jewish. Just completely not even catching up. And the look at Gene Hackman is hilarious in this role.
So when Gene Hackman gets the dress on finally and he goes down, he's like, he put me in white. It makes me look fat. He starts to comment. He's like, dance with me. I don't want to be the one that
dance alone. And they just dance right out. And he tells the guy, meet me at over here and here. The guy's like, not for $1 million at the end.
Oh my God.
Oh, it
has great moments. It's got great comedy. I laughed so many times. It was very funny.
And then it has amazingly touching moments, like when he decides to sign the palimony papers and tells them we're going to share everything.
Oh yeah, there's some nice touches. Or when Val's like, this is my mother, and he puts his hand around Nathan Lane.
Yes. Yeah, poor Nathan Lane. I love when he comes in as a suit with the suit on and he's got the pink socks. They're like, what's with the socks? And he's like, one just wants a hint of color.
The only like criticism I have of the movie, and I didn't realize this as a child, was so Val, that actor, is playing a 20-year-old. He's about 28 in that movie.
Oh, really?
Callista Flockhart is playing an 18-year-old, and she's like 31 in the movie.
Oh, she's 31 when she did that? Oh my God, she looks so young.
She looks young, but I'm like,
Ally
there's
McBeal.
no way these kids are in college.
Yeah, it didn't make it seem as bad. Like if they looked their age, it would seem like they're way too young.
Right.
To get
They
married.
seem kind of youngish.
But I also thought that their reactions to them getting married was crazy. Like
That's great.
If you like, this is what I think. It's like you're living a life that's not the norm.
Yeah.
Right. So all of a sudden, like you're gonna hold your kid to that same standard.
This is like the
It's-
worst thing that could happen to their son was him deciding to get married. It's so,
I think that the reason why it sucks for them is because they have to go through this thing.
Yeah.
That they have to now get another person on board with how they're choosing to live their life in the 90s or whenever this takes place. So yeah, at that time it was a little bit more. I wouldn't say it was as taboo as they make it out to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think that, yes, I don't think it was an easy go. I mean, if you're a Republican senator, maybe. But I even think that Republicans, they have all kinds of people in their weird group as well.
I didn't pick up as a kid that like the whole Republican thing and that like fucking his like senator friend is like overdoses on drugs with a black prostitute.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I didn't realize this was in part of this movie. I didn't even
my
realize
God,
that was a thing.
And so he wants to use this whole engagement and wedding as damage control.
Damage control.
Yeah, Gene Hackman
funny.
says some pretty crazy racist shit too.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
Yes.
When he's explaining, so when they're all gone, like in the back, and they're like, something's going on here. I wrote down the line where he goes, and he's just explaining what Robin Williams' character. He goes, he tells that beige savage what to do. They're talking about Agador Spartacus.
Oh, God.
That beige savage.
He's like, Aristotle Onassis was just like this. I know what's going on. He thinks it's just that Albert's just being denied.
Oh yeah,
treated bad.
He thinks that
Defending her.
he thinks that Mrs. Coleman is like this like young this innocent small town girl, and that Robin Williams' character is this like cocky European that like doesn't let her speak at all.
Yeah.
And then you find out that, and then the wife's like, wait a minute, you love her, like you actually like Mrs. Coleman.
Yeah, she was
There's so many. I like every time I throw on that movie, I know the lines that are coming, and I still laugh.
The whole Pirin tablets line is hilarious. So he's just giving him aspirin and he scrapes the A and S off.
Oh yeah.
And I love in the beginning how they make us think like Albert is cheating on him, and it turns into be his son showing up. And then
with
Robin
the wine.
Williams, the classic bit is when he's doing the little dance tutorial where he's like, Fosse, Twyla, Madonna. It's so fucking good. Like, I don't know. Like, that's the most crazy he gets.
He's chewing gum.
Yeah, yes, he's chewing while I was singing. He can't do that while I'm singing. Yeah, no, they're all so fantastic, and it still doesn't hold up today. I feel like it still kind of holds up pretty
I feel
good.
like it does.
I
It's
think
a moment
so.
in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it does definitely hold.
I think so. And then you also throw in just how, like, how, not divided, but divided, I guess, but more like how there's so much extremism on either side. Like, I felt a lot of the stuff with the senator still felt relevant.
Oh my god, that absolutely did still feel relevant. Like, it's almost come back like that.
You know, like that stuff was in this movie, but at that time I didn't care about politics at all, so I
Right.
wouldn't even have
Registered, really.
yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah, no, there's
That's crazy.
it still all holds up. I mean, it is 90s, right? Like I've been to South Beach as well. I don't know that it's that flamboyant these days. I mean, it's still pretty wild, but I don't remember being in a car and seeing like dudes wearing banana hammocks walking around me.
Oh, you got to be at the right spot.
Maybe
time
I
of
wasn't in
day.
the right spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, great movie.
Originally, Steve Martin was set to play Armand, and Robin Williams was gonna play Albert.
Oh,
And Robin didn't want to do this because he had just done Mrs. Doubtfire a few years ago, and he didn't want to have to like dress up in drag again.
A woman.
He didn't want to play a woman again and put all that on. So I don't know if that would have been better. I think like this really worked out with Robin in that role.
Yeah, I like it the way it is.
Yeah, and Nathan Lane was doing a lot of Broadway. I think Mike Nichols saw him on Broadway and put him on, so he brought just like the perfect energy.
I just love the way Nathan Lane's character always just like freaks out all the time. Like, yeah. It's like she's on such pins and needles.
Yeah, his becoming hysterical is hilarious. He'll just break down every time. And Armand's like, "Hey, it's okay. You pierced the toast.
You can always get more toast.
You always get more toast." You go, "What? Who cares?"
Picky down.
I like when he goes to the store and he asks to get the sample, and then he goes back and get another one.
I'm just gonna take one more. Yeah,
he goes out shopping.
It's just full of so many lines and so many things you can say from that movie. I truly love the Birdcage. I think it's an awesome movie.
And I mean, Robin Williams is fucking what a great career. Vice actually, I watched recently. Vice has this series right now called The Dark Side of Comedy, and they're like highlighting comedians who have dark past. They put out Robin Williams episode. It's really fascinating, and you think about his whole career. This guy from stand-up to sitcoms to actually being like an amazing dramatic actor. Did you know he was with fucking John Belushi the night Belushi died? They were partying late at night. He went home. He goes to work on set on Mork and Mindy the next day and gets a call that John Belushi's dead. He was one of the last people to see John Belushi.
He was just inducted into the Hall.
Yeah.
Comedy Hall.
Yeah.
I watched that special.
He did so much cocaine and then stopped when Belushi died. And then battled alcohol, unfortunately, and it's kind of sad. But he did have like this dementia. His autopsy from his after he did, I think he hung himself. They did an autopsy. Lewy body dementia and Parkinson's, and so think about a guy that witty and fast and clever that's breaking down and he can't communicate.
Oh yeah, it's got to be horrible.
Tragic. But goddamn, what a fucking talent, dude! There's every movie he's in. We've reviewed a couple of great ones, right? Like Fisher King, but I've always loved Robin Williams from like the Mork and Mindy days.
Not many people can bring to the table what he brings, because he can bring that comedic energy, that ball of fire, that lightning in a bottle,
range,
and then he could do this like very like controlled performance, like in Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, amazing dramatic performance. Wins the fucking Oscar for that performance. The range on this guy.
He can be that manic, crazy character that's doing impersonations, and then he can
elicit tears from you.
Yeah.
Very easily.
Yeah, the more I thought, I was like, man, this guy really was one of a kind. He could do everything and just amazing range. But a lot of it came from a lot of pain.
And he was fucking Popeye.
Popeye is a fucking great movie. I kind of want to watch that again. That movie,
he's Popeye. He's Peter Pan.
Yeah. He's a grown-up Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Just iconic roles. Popeye is a wild fucking movie we watch now. Like, I think it was ahead of its time. It was just the wrong time for that movie.
Oh man, that is a crazy ass.
Like, they pulled it off, like just like the cartoon, and it's so weird. But Birdcage is a classic. All right, Anthony, you want to give it a rating? What would you give this?
10 out of 10.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, it's I love it. The Birdcage is great. The dinner scene. There's nothing that beats the dinner scene in terms. I mean, that's just like so funny. Robin Williams, Nathan Lane, everyone just interacting with each other. It builds on each other too, and it just gets more awkward.
Yeah,
and you want them to get out of it, and then another situation happens, and it's great situational comedy. The bowls, I mean, everything.
It's a perfect third act of comedy where
it just builds, and the whole movie builds to it, and they nail it, and it's so good. 10 out of 10.
All right, Ruggs, what are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it a 9. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was really funny. And it does ring true to that time in the 90s. It does ring true to South Beach. And it was very, very good. So definitely check it out if you can.
It's on Amazon Video.
We are family.
Great song. Every drag club plays that song. I've seen that when I was delivering balloons.
Was that because of this movie, or were they already playing that song?
I think they were already playing that. in the clubs, and they just picked up on it. I will also give this a 9. I love Robin Williams. It is a fantastic situational comedy adaptation of Lodge Falls based on this cast. It's perfectly cast movie. Everybody is perfect in their roles. Yeah, and it's kind of timeless. Kind of timeless. Robin Williams is great. All right, let's do some news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Woo, open a window. Last week we reviewed the Monster Squad. Ron Hans enjoyed the review. He chimes in saying, guys, I loved episode 507 Monster Squad review. I saw this before I saw Goonies, and since Rug Boy said it was on streaming a few years ago, it is my staple for Halloween watching. Love this movie. I can't wait to show it to my kids sometime soon. See, Rugs?
Yeah.
You're right. You were right.
Just, you have to explain about virgins, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to watch Five Nights at Freddy's with your kids than, but
is it?
Monster Squad is a lot more fun to watch.
Yeah, there's a little bit more words you can't say.
Yes, I'll have to explain.
Monster Squad.
Don't be chicken shit. Come on, guys. Jess Rivera leaves this comment saying the 2020's action movie tournament winner is in the works. Hashtag there can be only one. Linking an article stating the Highlander reboot starring Henry Cavill is happening. Are you excited, Rugs?
Good. I am excited. I'm very excited. I think, Highlander is a great concept. It's a great property that has not had its due. And I hope that's Chad Stahelski can really do something with it.
Chad Stahelski, Henry Cavill, he's no longer Superman. He's no longer the Witcher guy. This is a good role for him. It's kind of like The Witcher.
The concept isn't hard to do. It's like, it's a movie, it's an action film, and every once in a while you need some sword play. And that's it. You don't need like special effects or any kind of like CG, really, other than, I don't know, blood. I don't know what you're going to use CG for. But like, you don't really, it's a movie that's attainable. You just need like a good action director that knows how to set up the intrigue and the mystery of the Highlander.
Highlander is a movie we talked about. I don't know what movie we talked about the other week that need to be. Monster Squad. Yeah. Highlander is another movie that I think actually is ripe for being remade and actually could be better.
Yeah.
Like way better.
It didn't get a fair shake. The concept is great.
Concept is so good.
Yeah. So it just needs a really good visionary director that can I think they should set it in the 80s. That would cost more, obviously.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That way, it's a lot like the original film. Who do you get to replace Sean Connery?
I would get Antonio Banderas.
Oh my God.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be kind of good.
Either that or the other guy who's in every fucking movie.
You need
too.
another Scottish guy to play a Spaniard, right? That's what you need.
The guy from No Country for Old Men, Javier Bardem.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, as Ramirez, yes. Yeah. And the Kurgan would be, I think Campia said he would get The Rock to be the Kurgan.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
But I would get Batista to be the Kurgan.
Oh, my God. They both would work.
Oh, no, not The Rock. Do Batista. The Rock's just The Rock always.
Who plays the lead then?
No, it's Cavill.
No, Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill.
It's already that. Maybe I wasn't paying attention for a second.
It is.
There.
It's gonna be Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. Wow, that's a fucking hell of a.
He loves this movie too.
Yeah,
he wants
nerd.
to be in this.
Yeah, he's a big nerd.
That's a crazy casting. Who would have thought?
Yeah, with some John Wick style action, Henry Cavill, Highlander. I like it.
I don't think you need to go John Wick. I mean, I think you need to embrace the sword play.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what's different about this movie.
The immortal gods and the sword play, and you really just go. But like sword play, what makes it crazy is the sword play in the modern era or in the 80s at that time. Like you're just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I want to see. You don't see a lot of broadsword shit anymore. I want to see some good broadsword fucking action.
Right.
Nice big, some decapitation, some nice big heavy swords. So Highlander fans are happy. Okay, let's finish with some. What are we watching? There's a lot I watched. There's a lot going on. I want to start.
I watched a lot of things.
Okay,
too.
but everybody caught up on Loki. We must start there.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, we know traditionally episode 4 of these Disney shows are always huge, and this one did not disappoint. Lots of deaths, right? You got supposedly we see Ravonna getting pruned. We see Victor Timely fall apart at temporal radiation. We see Doc's whole team get squished in a box while Miss Minutes is smiling, watching it, which was terrifying. We do find out, I was right, Loki did prune himself in that first episode. We've caught up to that moment. And then they are too late, and they show us the fucking temporal loom exploding into white, and it ends on just a white fucking screen. What the fuck? Holy shit.
There's going to be another season, right?
There's
So
2 more episodes.
Oh, really?
Yes, this isn't the end.
Episodes.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was the season finale.
But it felt like it, right? It was like they're showing us an ending. There is a mid-season trailer.
Was there?
Yes.
I missed it.
Kind of showing you what's going to happen. Before we can watch that, I can tell you, what do you think? What do you think, Anthony, of the show so far, and where do you think this is going? Predictions.
I have no idea where it's going. I like the show a lot. I like the visual style mostly of the show.
Yeah.
But I think there's good, like I like Ki Hu Kwan. I like the story.
OB is great, yeah.
I don't really know where the story's going. The only thing that didn't make sense in this episode is like both sides were really actually going for the same
thing. Yeah, that is, and like
so
Ravonna,
it was just like they were impeding each other from something that if they would have just they both had the same intent. They wanted to save the TVA.
Yeah, and that
didn't make sense. But other than that, though, yeah, I like the show. I think it's good. Is it like must see TV? No, but like from what we've seen from Marvel lately, I think it's a lot better.
It's a lot better than what we've got. Stuff is happening. It's moving forward. Ruggs, any observations?
No, for some reason I thought it was the season finale, but then I realized we only watched 4 episodes of this shit.
Yeah, which is crazy that they did that.
And I felt like it was longer. Like I thought I had seen more episodes, but I don't know. It's just really strange.
Well, they're utilizing the length too. Like Marvel shows have been like, sometimes we're like, oh, you're doing 6 episodes and an episode's like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
But these all been 50, 55 minutes.
Yeah.
They're actually
they're packing it in there.
Nice and meaty.
You can tell that it's a show that was written as a TV show, in my opinion.
It works better than a lot of the stuff that Marvel.
Absolutely.
And I just love there's a lot of really nice shots of different things, and there's funky music.
Yeah, the production
it has
sets are great.
It has its own. It's one of the few things that sticks out as its own thing.
And like Majors I thought his Victor Timely is very good. I think he's doing a really good job.
I find it annoying.
I know you find it annoying. He's quirky.
It's by design, but I feel like it's like, it doesn't ring true to me.
So in that mid-season trailer, apparently where this is going is it shows us that Loki now has to go back into the timelines and pluck these people from their original timelines. Like Mobius is a jet ski salesman and Ravonna is where she was before, before they got to the TVA.
And redo it.
So, because the Flash tells me, this is a reset. Is it going to start up where he's in some different timeline? Or, I thought it would start and nobody remembers anything and it's just another restart. This whole plan was supposed to happen according to He Who Remains. Everything that's happening, it's a loop. It is like an Ouroboros, like a snake eating its own tail, where he only exists because he sent Ravonna back to give him the handbook when he was a kid so he could grow up and invent this thing to become He Who Remains. But he gets undone. And does that send all the Kangs into the timeline? That spaghetti effect we also seen in Doctor Strange, right?
Doesn't that create all those little Ant-Man?
And we also saw it in Ant-Man when he's trying to get the power, when he gets big in the micro thing, when he's trying to get the power source. Only when he got big, he fell apart like those spaghetti strands. Similar to Reed Richards that Scarlet Witch did in Doctor Strange. So this is the third time we've seen this kind of
spaghetti people.
Spaghetti fall. It's creepy looking every time, though, how they come apart.
I did enjoy that they like build this up as a big moment for Victor Timely, and he's being brave, and then
and then just immediately just disintegrated. I was like, oh shit,
He's Chef Boyardee.
oh shit. I was like, fuck, he's gone. Ramona got pruned. All these people died. What the fuck is going on? And Miss Minutes is terrifying in that moment.
her
So
smiling as the people
my
were getting
God.
squashed.
Oh my
was
God.
pretty fun.
I was like, oh, look at her smile. She's just heartless. So yeah, it's been good. So 2 more left. Expecting big things.
I mean,
guess.
they're
It's a
also,
big
we have
thing.
to point out, although the episode, this is better, there's also another stupid thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
if Sylvie just kills Ravonna, none of this happens.
Oh.
But she sends Ravonna back to the end of time,
Yeah.
and Ravonna comes back to foil everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, she couldn't kill Victor Timely when that could have stopped everything too, and then she just doesn't do it.
Well, the Victor Timely thing's like, it's supposed to be where he didn't do anything yet. So
Why does the TVA need to exist?
To manage the sacred timeline, I don't know, the loom.
Yeah, I think they're trying. I think what Loki was saying is that they could build it to be a better thing. They can manage the time stream better so that they're not trying to have timelines try to kill each other.
But here now, you can use this moment in this show to just write whatever you want moving forward. Like this is this how they're going to explain everything in Deadpool 3 based on that spoiler we just talked about?
Possibly.
I mean, if the major things falls apart, they could use this to just recap. They could just
I feel like
change
this
all
is how the millions of Kangs are born.
But to do this in a show, it seems like a pretty big thing that all time and space just exploded.
Well, no, I don't think all time and space just exploded. It's just the TVA exploded.
The TVA and the temporal loom that's holding, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the time streams will just readjust.
Yeah, the time streams
without
were
the
just
loop.
going through. There was too many streams going through the.
So the TVA
you couldn't
itself
contain it.
Possibly has been destroyed, and
So
now
there's a crater in the middle of the universe because the TVA's there, but it's not that time exploded.
But then, so there's just branch timelines going everywhere now.
It's just uncontrollable now.
Okay. So there,
and no one's able to watch. No one's watching. No one knows it even exists that way.
Right. So I think this is like Loki's going to have to go back and rebuild the TVA from scratch.
That's what it sounds like. I didn't see that mid trailer.
Yeah.
But that's what it sounds like.
Okay, I'm in. Get 2 episodes to do it. Let's see what happens. I do want to see Mobius as a jet ski salesman. That's kind of fun. After the buildup of all the jet skis. I think these other things you guys have not caught up on, Ruggs, Gen V.
No, I did not watch.
Okay.
I want to, but I didn't have time.
That's
I
true.
got to catch up on Gen
I think there's 7 episodes out. I think there's 3 more. So, and they're fucking amazing. Scavenger's Reign putting out 3 episodes at a time.
Oh, really? I have to catch up.
Yeah,
on
I
that.
just watched the last 3, so there's 6. Again, pretty great. Ruggs,
So it's still going good.
yeah, it's still fucking wild. Now, let me tell you, these fucking alien designs they rival Avatar in just imagination of the
I can't wait to
the
watch.
physiology of these weird fucking aliens, and that they focus so much on this planet and how things work. It's wild. They just show you. They don't tell you, explain nothing. They just show you these people using these things that they figured out, and you're just like, what the fuck? Look at that. It's great. Anthony, you watch anything else this week?
I did watch a sports thing.
Oh.
I don't know how familiar you guys are with what was happening in combat sports, but basically the heavyweight champ of boxing fought the UFC champ in heavyweight UFC champ in a boxing fight. Boxing match. And
Who won?
I mean, literally one of the greatest upsets of all time almost happened. So Francis Ngannou is the UFC fighter.
Yeah.
He's not in the UFC anymore, but he's the UFC heavyweight champion. Fought Tyson Fury, who's the undisputed boxing heavyweight champion, and he dropped him in the 3rd round, and by all accounts, a lot of people think he should have won the decision.
Oh,
And
shit.
That was his first ever boxing match.
Wow. He didn't win.
It literally was like it was like Rocky won.
Oh my God. So I saw the clip you posted
It would have
on
been.
your
It would have been the
reels.
greatest. It still might have been. It's one of the greatest sporting achievements I've ever seen in my life.
So, but he didn't win. I won by decision.
He didn't. But it's literally like Rocky 1, where he went to decision.
Well, right.
And it was like
he loses. Rocky loses in the first one.
and it was like he lost, but he won.
Yeah.
Like, everyone thinks he won.
He made it there. He knocked the guy down.
Yeah, Twitter was ablaze with praise for him. Yeah.
How old are these dudes?
Tyson Fury's 35 and Ngannou's 37, but that's his first box. It's hard to describe if you don't like sports, but it's like an insane
to step in
achievement.
There first time and knock out the heavyweight champion.
Knock down and by a lot of people think he won. Like I watched the fight. And you can make an argument he won.
So that'd be like some guy coming in and knocking out Tyson off the street, pretty much.
Not like off the street. It'd be like
didn't like one of the Logan Pauls or one of them try that shit with what's his name? Didn't some UFC guy, or was it the other guy?
Yeah, there's been UFC fights again.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, no,
tried to fight a boxing.
Conor
guy,
McGregor
right?
fought Floyd Mayweather years ago.
Right.
That was the
remember
first of these big ones.
Yeah,
and that one wasn't. I mean, it was competitive, but not really. Like Floyd Mayweather was he was never really threatened. This one, legitimately, like Ngannou might have won the fight.
Wow,
like, it's very possible. It would be like How would I compare this for you guys? It would be like a champion table tennis player, facing off against a champion tennis player
and almost beating
and beating. No, not almost beating him. Like by all accounts, beating them.
His first time out. Wow.
And it's like a first time playing that game. But not first time playing. Like he trained for it, but it's just like it's such an unbelievable accomplishment.
Man, is he going to keep boxing?
Now, yeah. I mean, he should.
Yeah.
He should just continue to box. But yeah, it was like, it literally was like, I was watching it like, this is fucking Rocky 1.
Wow.
This is how epic this is.
That's amazing.
And it's crazier than like Rocky 1, the character in Rocky is like was just a journeyman fighter that was like never got a big chance. This is the guy's first boxing match.
Wow.
Like, yes, he can fight, but it's his first boxing match. It was just,
exciting.
I was over the moon all weekend about it.
So you see that was lucky, or he had a good day, or it was just skilled.
He was more skilled than he should be, and it's literally like Rocky 1, where the other guy didn't. So Fury already scheduled another fight with another heavyweight champion in boxing to like unify the belts on December 23rd. They announced the fight prior to this fight even happening. So, which never happens. No one ever announces another fight while they have a fight upcoming. So, like, it was clear they were overlooking him and shit like that. Wow. So, like, there's part of that, too, where, like, the guy thought it was going to be easy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. Like, there's a quote where Fury starts the fight off and says to Ngannou, it's time to go to school. And then when Ngannou knocks him down in the third round, he goes, you're a bad professor, motherfucker.
Oh, my God.
Because he dances over him as he knocks him down. It's just, it's like, it's a movie. It's fucking like a movie.
Now I gotta watch this shit.
And Ngannou is like this. So like in the story behind him, he's like this poor kid that grew up in Cameroon, and moved to France with no money, and was living in a boxing gym, and like became the UFC champ, and then got into a dispute with the UFC, and they like kicked him out of the UFC, even though he's the heavyweight champ, because they thought it was a joke. They were like, "There's no way he's gonna box this guy, and it's gonna be competitive." So they let him go.
Oh shit!
And then he took the fight, and then by all accounts, a lot of people thought he won the fight.
This should be Creed 4.
It's an amazing story.
It sounds like a movie.
Yeah. So
all right,
there you go. That's what I watched.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
Ruggs, what do you got?
No Hard Feelings.
Did you watch that? I watched that also on Netflix. What'd you think?
Yeah, watched No Hard Feelings.
Jennifer Lawrence.
It was an enjoyable, not like a instant classic, but enjoyable. Jennifer Lawrence, I gotta hand it to her. She did the sex scene, not a sex scene, nude
full
scene,
nude, front and back. Very brave.
Yeah, full nude scene, but not the way you'd think.
No.
Not a sexy nude
it's
scene. It's
hilarious though.
She beats the fuck out of people naked.
She beats the fuck out of some teenagers at the beach coming out of the water, just completely.
And I gotta hand it to her. Like, she really went for it. I was like, wow, good for you.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. It was decent. It was pretty funny. I thought it was interesting. The concept is pretty great because the parents have this 19-year-old son who's just doesn't have any friends in real life, doesn't know anything. They want him to get laid, and they're offering a car, and she's an Uber driver, and she just needs a car, and she comes onto him way too strong. But this kid, like, I guess it's kind of, reflective of kids his age these days, where he doesn't know anything about anything. So it was cute. It was cute.
It was an all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was, there's nothing amazing about it, but at the same time, like, she went for it. She really tried to like be this movie. And you could tell she was doing a lot of heavy lifting here, like a lot of the time. And she took one for the team in many ways.
That seems crazy.
For this film. So I'll give her credit. If it's on Netflix, so just watch it if you want. It's got some good laughs.
It's got some good laughs. I wanted to bring up. Did you see this study UCLA conducted? Hollywood Reporter has this article. A new study conducted by UCLA found that American viewers between the ages of 10 and 24 wanted to see less sex on screen.
How much less could they make it? They're like, everybody's completely not doing anything anymore.
They're really not. This survey says they want to see more platonic friendships and relationships. Yeah.
You want to see more platonic friendships between men and women?
Yes, and less sex. They
on
think
screen,
sex on
general?
screen. Yeah, yes. That
Do
age.
they realize that like platonic friendships between men and women?
It's not a real thing.
It's not a real thing.
It's not a real thing. But that's entertainment, right? You're writing fiction. They think romance is overused. Sex isn't needed for most TV shows and movies. This group. It's just very fascinating. The shift of generations.
Yeah, let's see how this works out. Let's try it.
Like when we were that age, when I was that age, I wanted to see more boobies in the movies. I still think.
Well, and also like, it's just not reality, right? Like a lot of dudes and a lot of girls, even if they say they're friends, there's someone in that friendship that actually isn't wanting to be the friend.
But I also think it reflects like the studies saying like that this generation's having less sex and they're a little lonelier and they're all just because of technology. So it kind of makes sense.
So this kind of thought process, I think, contributes to that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I just think that people are just masturbating on a level that has never been done before.
There's reasons to masturbate. You can masturbate wherever you want.
Right. That's the thing. Now that they can just get porn on their phone, like they
never have to actually try and fuck a real person.
They don't.
Or
so they don't care about
so.
it in the movies or in real life. It's kind of crazy. Like it's just kind of crazy. Look, the social mores and things change, and this is the shift there that's happening. It fucking fascinates me. What does this mean? I don't know. They want more hopeful, uplifting content with people beating the odds. That's what this generation is into. I just thought that was very interesting. And really, there's not a lot of sex in No Hard Feelings. Like she's just naked, and even the sex scene is kind of funny and quick.
No Hard Feelings, is that the Lawrence movie?
That's the Jennifer Lawrence.
Is she actually naked?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
completely. Full front and back, running around, beating people up. It's one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
I gotta watch that then.
Yeah, you should watch it. All right, Ruggs, what else you got? I know you watched some other shit I watched.
I watched Joining the Panderverse, the South Park special
I watched this too.
Was just released.
Fucking brilliant.
Like, see, this is the South Park people have a lot to like try and they're walking a tightrope here because they went all out hard in the paint for Kathleen Kennedy,
Disney, Bob Iger.
They went and they destroyed it. And the last like 2 minutes of it, they put a Band-Aid on and go, well, you guys are bad too.
I mean, they tried to skewer both sides, but definitely the Panderverse part. I mean, it's so fucking funny, Anthony. There's in one universe, Kathleen Kennedy is Cartman in a wig. And anytime they're like, what do you think we should do, Kathleen Kennedy? He just goes, put a chick in it, make her gay, make it lame. It's everything he just keeps saying. They're like, what should we do with this scene? He's like, put a chick in it, make her gay. He's like, it's not lame enough. It's so fucking funny. And Disney's just like, we keep making the same movie over and over, but somehow it's not working. And they have this pander stone that they're using its powers. Meanwhile, the B plot is also equally brilliant. All the handymen in the country have become billionaires because
nobody knows how to do anything
regular
anymore.
People have realized we don't know how to do shit anymore.
That's funny. That's actually true as well.
And so then they make the handymen rich and wanted, and they turn into like the Jeff Bezos and the Zuckerberg and build spaceships and go out into space, and they're too busy. And then they get mad at college. They're like, fuck you, college. We wasted our money. Yeah, we know how to do shit. It's fucking so funny. And then it kind of ties together. Oh, it was brilliant. It was an amazing skewer. I don't know how they get away with this with Kathleen Kennedy.
Look, man, if I was Disney and got a shellacking like this,
shit.
Like the internet's been ablaze with this. Everybody's trying to claim like victory. Like the people who are like pro Star Wars and pro Kennedy. You're like, you see, it's the fans that ruin it. But I don't think it's a chicken or the egg thing. I think, look, fans always want the shit that they love to be represented properly.
Right.
Like, no fan wants their shit to be redone. That's just the way it is. So if you go and you divert and you go off the beaten path and you don't get results that you wanted, it's you that failed. It's not the fans. Now, the fans becoming this kind of mob mentality now where like there's like a whole YouTube channels that just like to dance on the grave of Marvel and Disney all day long and call everything woke. Yeah, that's a problem, but you can't get there unless you're doing what you're doing. Like if you're putting out movies that are good, you can't do that. So it's just one of those things. It's not, they tried to make it like they're both guilty, but nah, I think it's really more like if you're putting out the content.
Yeah.
Like there's always going to be critics. Like you can't just be like, oh, you can't have criticism. No, there's always going to be critics. It's just like, don't give people something to criticize. Exceed expectations. Don't subvert. Like I've been saying this for years, but I don't know. I guess maybe they'll get it now.
I mean, they did try to skewer both sides, but one side got it a lot more.
Hey, when South Park makes fun of you, you gotta take that as a badge of honor,
right?
Like we fucked up. We've been fucking up, and they noticed, and
like they tried to redeem Kathleen Kennedy at the end. Like, it wasn't really her; it was really Cartman.
Yeah, Cartman wrote her like 60,000 letters.
Give me a break. Yeah,
but Anthony, in this one, there's an alternate universe Cartman is dreaming about where the whole cast and crew of South Park are all diverse women. Everyone is either about like
there's no men at all.
No men. It's all black women, Latino women, Asian. So Cartman as a black woman is the fucking funniest thing I've ever seen in my life because she's still talking like Cartman. She comes over to their universe and she's like, Stan, is your mom still a fat bitch in this universe? He's like, stop calling my mom a bitch. She's so funny. It was so funny. And she just wanted to play Baldur's Gate 3. Was the big plan. It's hilarious. It's fucking brilliant. All their specials, when they did the COVID specials, all these, they're so fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it was
biting and satirical and fucking brilliant.
It's definitely going to be something that definitely is going to be a bug up Disney's ass for a while. Like this episode.
Oh, they got her
so good.
It was so anti Kathleen Kennedy. Gina Carano like used a clip and tweeted out some crazy shit about Kathleen Kennedy.
She's got to be feeling pretty good. Gina Carano.
Now, after all
she's gonna
this,
be like, oh,
look, Disney's never been worse stock wise. Their price is down. No one's watching their shit. They have to like overhaul everything. Even Marvel's firing people.
Well, that's why I think when you said last week that nothing will change, I think they do have to change because there's money.
I don't think you can. To be honest with you, I don't think you can.
Well, they're going to have to, right? Like you can't just continue down this path.
I'll tell you why. And this is not going to sound good, but this isn't just a managerial decision. Like literally, the entire staff at Disney has got this mindset. Like there's not like Republicans at Disney. There's not. They're not Republican artists working at Disney. They're not hiring those people. So those people have a sway on either that or nothing gets done. So it's intrinsically like that. Like it's that the people that are in this industry are not really leaning the other way at all. So you're not going to find that middle ground that they used to have where like it'll appeal to all these people. They're, that's what I just think. I think that there's nothing wrong with that, but that's what it is. Like, I don't think you can just change it managerially. I think it's the entire kind of people that work at Disney are not going to be on the other side of this. So that's all. And that it is what it is. There's nothing bad about it, but that's what it is.
I mean, unless it hurts their wallets, and then they're going to make a change.
I think as long that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Like to have it all on one side, I don't know. It's bad. I think what they need to do is focus on telling a good story instead of pushing an agenda.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen this with comics. We've seen this pretty much all throughout like the arts, like acting. Like if you're an actor, you're not going to be on the other side. You're going to be kind of more liberal, right? So it's hard to like to do that. I think, I don't know. I just do. It's very hard unless you like, have like your own like Republican, like Fox News or something, like a conservative fucking branch of entertainment. That's the only time that they do that.
They just they make their own Disney.
Like they made their own Snow White.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like they're doing it because
I don't know. I think we're at an inflection point where the wokeism came with good intent, and now it's just gone so far, and it's actually it's causing the opposite effect where people are now not liking any of this.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get to a point where it's toned down a little bit.
Yeah, I think it used to be about being true to the stories and being having good research behind it and trying to make it as real as possible, or trying to at least elicit realism or trying to elicit like faithfulness to whatever, even if it's a made up story, like faithfulness to that original story. And now it's more about like, it's a little bit more sensational. It's a little about how many people can we get into the theater? How many more new fans can we pick up? And the story is completely secondary. So I don't know. That's hopefully that changes at least.
Just got to go back to serving a good story. That's all. Just
now, speaking of a good story,
yes, what has a good story, Rex?
I don't know if it's good, but it's the new Gendy Tartakovsky. I don't know how to fucking say his name.
The guy did Primal.
The animator from Primal, from Samurai Jack. And I just watch all the stuff that he does, no matter what it is. And this is Unicorn Warriors, I think that's what it's called, on Max.
I did not get around to watching this. I knew it came out. Is it good? Is it for kids?
It's kind of like a little bit kiddie, but it's not. It's like it's like a steampunk 1920s animation fest. So like they're taking like designs from like cartoons in like the 20s and 30s, like Tom and Jerry and all that other stuff, and like early Disney and like Popeye and all that stuff.
Okay.
And they're making a whole like steampunk warrior adventure where like there's like this Merlin from like, you know, the
magician.
The wizard, the super powerful wizard, puts this magic out there into three people, and they become like these warriors. And throughout time, different people become the warriors, and it's just about this set of warriors and what they're dealing with at the moment. And it's kind of a steampunk adventure. It's got like superhero-y type stuff in it, so it's kind of cool. It's fun. I mean, it's different than Primal. Way different than
fucking love Primal so much. I want more. So if it is different, that's why like looking.
I mean, they fight a kraken. Okay, you know,
there's dialogue in it. There was no dialogue in Primal.
There's total dialogue in it. It's just a story about basically. It's like, it's like when a person has two people in them, like they're hosting another person in their body, they're possessed. And they have to rationalize like who's in charge and who gets to be in charge. It's kind of something like that. And then what else did I watch? I watched Frank Helda's Book of Spooks.
What is this?
Which is like, these are children's stories, like Halloween-y type scary things. I was in the mood for like Halloween-y spooky stuff. And this one is like fucked up because all the stories don't have happy endings. It's like,
I like
the
that.
kid, like the kid doesn't want to do his homework, so he fucking dies. like, you know what I mean? It's like, these are all like bad endings. This kid is fat and he doesn't want to take off his shirt, so all of his friends die. So it's pretty funny, crazy shit.
Is it? Wait, it's weird. Live action?
No, it's like puppets.
Oh, it's puppet animation. Oh shit! Look at this.
It's like a claymation.
Oh,
yeah. Oh. It reminded me of the Pinocchio, but like or like a Tim Burton-y type thing. So I was like, it's spoopy season. I'm gonna watch.
That's on Max too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all the shit that I watched. Pretty much.
Jeez,
that's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. I got two more quick things I have. This was just weird because on the other podcast I do, the Perfect Strangers Rewatch podcast, we are in season 6. Ruggs, I don't know if you remember this episode. We've gotten to the fresh young Balky B.
Oh yes.
Oh my god. It's when Balky gets,
it is so great.
It's so cringe It was so bad. But
He raps. Balky
Yes.
raps on the rooftop.
he gets discovered by a record producer who gives him a record deal on the spot, gives him a music video, and Balky raps, only to find out later that when the music video airs, his voice has been replaced by somebody else's voice. So this was 1991. They were reacting to the year before the Milli Vanilli scandal broke. They were outed as not singing their songs. They had to give back their Grammys that they won. And so right after we recorded that episode on Paramount Plus, I see there is a new Milli Vanilli documentary out, and I had to watch it. And
Didn't one of those guys kill themselves?
yes, Fabrice Morvan is still alive. Rob Pilatus died of an overdose of pills and alcohol. That was 98. He doesn't even make it out of the 90s. The record comes out in 89. And it's number one. It sells like 40 million units. They're on the Grammys the whole time, knowing they don't fucking sing and they got to lip sync. But you feel bad for the guys. Yes, they did agree they were complicit, but they were young. They came out of the projects in Germany. They signed a contract. They probably didn't read it, and then they got a taste of the fame. And really, that was the downfall, was them being nominated and winning the Grammys. And then Rob gets all like too big and starts saying things like we're better than the Beatles and all this.
Geez.
And then they have in this documentary the press conference after they've been lying for 2 years to everybody. The press conference where they admit they didn't sing the songs. They make them sing there on the spot. It's brutal to watch. The one surviving
They never
guy
sang those songs, huh?
they did not. They were lip synced. But so really the bad guy is the producer, Frank Farian, and artist of records, Clive Davis. These two parties escape unscathed, and they throw Rob and Fab under the bus and make.
Who is the guy who actually sung the song?
There's a couple of guys. There's a dude named Charles Shaw, who's the rapper. There was a couple of singers. But Frank Farian, this is his MO. You know Boney M? They sang the song Rasputin, and Sonny, the disco band. They also did not sing their own songs. After this whole thing happens, he comes out. He does another album called The Real Milli Vanilli, with the guys who actually sang. But then on the stage, he replaces them again with other people who were not part of the album. Like, this is the guy's MO, is he gets people. And then I'm thinking, nowadays, everybody's fucking auto-tuned. There's AI pop stars. Like, they weren't committing a crime. This was the biggest thing in 1990. Like, the Grammys had never rescinded an award. And it was a huge scandal.
I mean, I don't know. They weren't committing a crime, but they were
They weren't harming anybody. The music was good.
Yeah, but you were
nowadays-
misrepresenting who sang the song.
Yes.
Nowadays, people can just make AI stuff and sing and pretend that that's them
Is it
too.
different than auto-tuning, you motherfucker?
But I think in the 80s and the 90s, there was you had to be real.
Yeah.
There was something. Listen, we weren't going to plop down money to go, here's a tape. Like, no, we want you to fucking do it live.
Dude, I had this album. Like, I was into Milli Vanilli. Like, the song, Blame It on the Rain, Baby Don't Forget My Number. They're still great fucking 80s songs.
I think when you betray, I think
it is betraying a trust
you're
of the
betraying
public.
the trust.
Yeah,
I mean, that's huge, man. To release an entire album where you have two guys singing that weren't not even auto-tuned. It wasn't them.
No. And to win fucking a Grammy for Best New Artist and perform. They lip-synced at the fucking Grammys. Somehow he paid them money. They got away with it. The Grammys never let anybody lip-sync. They always want a live performance. And then but it is kind of tragic. I feel bad for the guys because I feel like the producer should really be the main villain, and he kind of skated and made his money.
Interesting.
It's fascinating. Great story. It's a great story, and it's kind of sad at the end how it ends up.
Well, don't you think it sucks for the people who sing the songs and never get famous?
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes,
yeah,
it does.
You're I mean, I kind of have a little bit of I don't feel the same sympathy you do.
Well, when you watch this, like yes, they lied, but they did not deserve to be the sole villains to the point where the guy is smoking crack.
There's a lot of people responsible that got away unscathed.
Yeah.
No, that I
But
agree
they're the
with.
ones they're the ones that got the fame. So
and when they got a taste of that fame,
they got the blowjobs.
Yeah.
The other people did not.
I'll tell you what, happy ending though. Fab is married, has some kids, and he actually goes around tours and now sings the fucking songs live.
As he go as Millie or Vanilla?
I don't know which one he is.
Does he sing the songs well? Or is it like bad karaoke?
No, he's gotten better. He tried to put on an album later. They actually, the both of them after this, they tried to put out an album as Rob and Fab. It did not do well. They were not good.
They did a song called "Blame It on the Snow."
Blame it on the sun. Blame it on the snow. But I feel like he's been practicing, and he wasn't a bad singer, and he was singing the notes. But it's so funny because the Perfect Strangers episode is about that exact same thing. And when you hear them talk, they have these thick French-German accents. And I'm like, people did not fucking pick up on this at all for like 2 years.
Doesn't Cousin Larry come out and do like a dance with
Yeah.
Balky
Then he
at
comes
the-
out in a boombox that goes, yo. And then they do a whole song exposing the producer that he lip syncs. Everybody lip syncs. But anyways.
What a crazy scandal.
Yeah, that was a crazy time to be alive. I remember all
Remember
of that.
Ashley Simpson?
Yeah, what happened with her?
Jessica Simpson's
sister.
young sister.
Yeah.
She had like a show on MTV, and then she went on SNL, and then
She freaked out or something, right?
You could hear
she had a
you could
malfunction.
hear her
and
like
you could-
backtrack her singing, and it wasn't matching what she was doing.
That's
Did she
right.
walk off stage?
Yes, she just left. I remember that too. That happened to Milli Vanilli. The track got stuck and kept repeating, and they panicked and they had to fucking run off.
Well, I mean, now a lot of artists when they perform live will have their song playing, with the lyrics.
Right, that that's
not uncommon.
Right, they're lip syncing, but it's their own. They sang it,
but they did sing it. There's a
sang
difference between you actually singing it,
and telling people
and never having sung it and lip
and
syncing.
telling people, yes, that's us. I mean, they denied multiple times that is us on the album. Oh, it's a good
But
time.
what if what's on the song is so heavily edited and retooled and
sounds
auto-tuned that
completely
they could
different.
never actually recreate it with just a microphone?
You can't.
Yeah, I think there's definitely an issue there.
Yeah.
That almost is the same as not singing the song, right? At that point, because you're just not. That's not you.
Yeah, it's like you with a lot of help,
right?
But
I mean, that was always a thing with T-Pain.
Yeah,
he can actually sing, but his voice is so auto-tuned in a lot of his songs.
Sounds like
I was like, that's no one sounds like that.
So wait, would this fly if you were presented with a band? Let's say it was Milli Vanilli, but they told you these are the singers, but these guys are going to perform the song because they got the moves. Would that make a difference? Be like, what the fuck is that?
Oh no! Why would anyone want to watch that?
If you knew this was the package, would it? Why would you?
What do you think of Gorillaz?
So, but they're playing. They're singing, but
they're an
they're animated band. But there's real people.
Vision.
But there's people playing those instruments behind the screen.
Yes,
singing. So it's a little different. I don't know. I was like, if we knew,
there's no way you could sell me on watching someone perform someone else's song.
Yeah,
like that.
What if it's like Sia? Like she's there in the background singing, but she has someone else actually performing.
Oh, that's interesting. She does that. Yeah, where she'll just stand
she doesn't
with her
like to be
face
up on
covered.
stage.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting.
The guy from Tool also will be in the shadows in the back of the stage because he wants it to be about the music, and he doesn't want you to focus on him as the lead singer. I don't know.
Well, none of this is the same as what this.
No, nobody will be Milli Vanilli. I mean, they were the butt of so many jokes.
I didn't know that. I always thought of them as the one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
that, looked like shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that they didn't sing their songs.
They didn't sing, and they sold huge amounts of
Milli
records.
Vanilli.
All right. Anyways, that's it. I also saw Hamilton live on stage. If anybody cares, nobody cares. It was great.
Iman Vellani.
Is Hamilton the one where is that funny?
No, it's about Alexander Hamilton.
It's like they rap history.
It's the rap history of the birth of the country. But these tickets, my sister played the lottery. They were second row in the middle, amazing seats. I think King George spit on me. It was amazing. King George definitely was staring right at us. He was looking at us. We were that close during the end of his song. But Hamilton's amazing. It was a great show. Anyways, whatever.
Crazy sees crazy. They know.
We locked eyes. I swear to God. Anyways, that's it for this week. Out this week, you guys, Invincible Season 2 premieres November 3rd. I think that's this Friday.
Nice.
So we got a lot of things to watch. Then there's the Marvels. Then there's the Godzilla show, all coming in November.
Oh, November 3rd, they're going to drop a Jet Jaguar versus Godzilla short.
Oh.
And a Godzilla versus Megalon animated short, 3D animation. So it's Godzilla Day, November 3rd. And then I think -1 drops in in Japan, and we'll probably start getting the first leaks out of that. So it's going to be a fun week.
Oh, man. And Invincible. A lot of things to look forward to. Rugs, where can the listener find you online?
Really Rug Boy on X.
X him over there. You can get
formerly known as Tweeters.
All the links to everything on our website, jockandnerd.com. Most important thing, though, listeners, share the show, spread it around. Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the Nerd.
We'll peep you next time.
Be more funny.
I really don't give a shit.
I like turtles.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Jock and Nerd. Sometimes maybe shit, and sometimes maybe watery shit.